Question: what is the most important type of exercise? Well, I don't know for sure, but I'm going to guess. And it's based on an analogy, another similar question. What is the most common form of communication? Or the most common form of speech? Some of you know that I'm involved in Toastmasters and I quite enjoy that. And what we like to talk a lot about there is how important impromptu or on the spot, without preparation, communication, how important that is. If we think about it, why is it so important? Well, probably because it's the most common, right? I mean, everywhere we go, whoever we talk to on a daily basis, for the most part, it's an impromptu method, right? Somebody asks us a question, asks for directions. We go to the lineup at Tim Hortons. I want this, want that. Somebody asks, they ask a question, a clarity question. We're not prepared for it. We just answer it. That's impromptu speaking. So the ability to develop more efficient ways of being able to speak impromptu, the better off we are probably. So relating that to the most important form of exercise, physical exercise, because of course speaking is a form of exercise, but we talk about physical exercise that we can do on a regular basis, that we do on a regular basis, I would relate it the same way. What is the most common form of exercise? Well, in terms of physical health benefits, we'd also have to relate that to what are the largest muscles that use more cardiovascular intensity and so on. And I would say the lower limbs. And the most common form of exercise in that regard is walking, right? How many people run everywhere they go? Well, I've known a few people and I've done it a few times once in a while myself, but the vast majority of people walk. They don't run. How many people ride a bike everywhere they go? Well, once again, we've probably all known people who ride a bike a lot, but they don't ride it everywhere, and they're certainly not the most people. And yes, it's not the most common form of transportation in terms of distance, because obviously we're going to drive more, ride trains and buses and automobiles and so on farther. But in terms of time, even if we sit most of the day, well, even if we get up and walk over to the coffee boat or over to the water cooler, down to our car, up from our car, it's walking. For those of us who are like me, who spend most of the day on their feet, yeah, there's quite a bit of walking. I did a job one time when I figured it out. I walked like 10 kilometers a day just from, being on my feet the whole day and moving. So that's why I would say it's the most important form of exercise. And if we're going to get more fit and we're going to benefit from that the most, I would suggest probably it's a natural thing for us to do. Focus a little bit on it. If we want to get in better shape, well, maybe we can do things like increase our walking by reducing our other forms of transportation, parking a little bit farther from work, walking on the weekend where we would have driven a few blocks to visit the neighbor or go to the grocery store. We can get those little buggies, right? If we want to go to the grocery store, walk there and load them up and come back. There's lots of things that we can do if we're creative, but we're basically just extending then the most common form of exercise we do anyway, and thereby working out those large muscles which get our whole cardiovascular system working better, exercising our lower limbs, which have the hardest time pushing that blood back up and therefore causing those weird veins in our lower legs. All of that sort of stuff we would help if we would do more exercise. The most important exercise in this man's opinion is walking, just like the most important form of speech is impromptu speaking. What do you think? My opinion, that's all it is on improving the quality of your life experience, but surely there doesn't have to be a lot said about the importance of exercise for that quality. I think we all know what that is. We all know that it's there, and it's just a matter of figuring out how to add a little bit more of that exercise to equal out to those qualities that we're going to find. It's all a matter of just finding what works for us better. Great chatting. Steve here again. Talk again soon. Bye for now.